That's great. So now we're talking to Amy Blake from Earlyfest. Hello, Amy. What is Earlyfest?
Earlyfest is a new festival coming to Sheffield. It's specifically designed to programme emerging artists' more experimental work, ideas that they've always had and wanted to do, but just never gone and done it for whatever reason.
Fantastic. It sounds really interesting. When is it taking part?
From Sunday the 6th to Wednesday the 9th of May.
So, yeah, quite soon then.
Yeah, real soon.
So what type of format is it then? How does the festival work?
So we've got 10 performances taking place over the 4 days. The first 2 days are in one venue and the last 2 days are in a separate venue. The get-ins, get-outs are going to be really quick, so audiences are going to turn up at the time for the show as the audience from the previous show are leaving. And they'll just kind of do a switch over.
And what do you mean by experimental performance?
So more novel ideas, things that might not get programmed on a more like a mainstream season.
Okay. Could you give me an example, maybe?
Yeah. So we've got one show, Pray They Save My Demons, which is a verbatim theatre piece all about post-traumatic stress disorder and the different ways people can get it, including the war heroes, but not just limited to war heroes.
Okay, I know what verbatim theatre is, but if you could just tell our listeners.
Okay, yeah, so verbatim theatre is a form of theatre where all the text is taken directly from what other people have actually said. It's like quotations.
So personal experience is literally the person's words through the actor's mouth.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So where did the idea come from?
So I'm just about to finish my degree in performance at Hallam, and one of our modules is called Show Business. And essentially the module is just making a portfolio or a business plan of how you would set up a theoretical theatre company or festival or anything to do with the performance industry. But it's all theoretical, it's just I would do this. If I was to do this, this is how I'd do it. And just writing about it, and I just thought that was dead boring. So I decided to just go and do it.
And actually experience it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's also great, I guess, to do some work in Sheffield as well.
Brilliant, yeah.
Yeah. So, how did you gather the performers and companies together?
Just call-outs of various social media sites. Everybody knows the Sheffield Actors page, Yorkshire Theatre Network, the Making Room, all those kind of avenues. And it was a really quick turnaround as well, so the performers, I think, only had about 6 days to get back to me. And because it's such a short time scale, that meant that the people that responded were the people with a similar kind of work ethic as what I've got, who just wanted to get in and go.
Or already had something they're sat waiting to go, I guess.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what I expected, but there's only actually a couple of shows that already have a show ready to go, and all the others are just like, let's make something, and that's what I'm all about, so I was really happy with that.
That's good. Has there been any kind of you having to put together collaborations of actors and writers and things, because you've just said you also put the call out for actors and performers?
Yes, so different people responded. I've got one where it was the director that responded, and then she's gone and assembled her cast. That's for Twitch. Other ones, Big Egg Theatre, they came to me with a show that they've already had at Edinburgh Fringe before, and they just wanted to do it again, so they're all set ready to go. And then we've got 2 guys who really want to be in the festival, but they didn't think in the time scale that they'd be able to make a full hour-long show or 40-minute show. So what we've done with them is they've got their 10-minute performance, and then embedded into the script is a sort of open mic, so that other people can come along and do monologues, dance pieces, songs. We've got somebody wanting to do a stand-up comedy routine, so that then gives the artists that wanted to be a part of it but didn't have the time scale to make a full show, they can still be a part of it.
That all sounds really interesting and exciting. I guess that feeds into as well, did you say these are all new pieces of work?
Yeah, a couple of them have been around for about a year or so, but none of them are like long-running shows.
So all pretty new, and some created exactly for the event. Are you actually showing any work yourself?
I am, yes. So I've got my own one-woman show, Justified, on Monday the 7th at 3 p.m. And I'm also in a couple of them as well, from artists that I've worked with previously. So Pray They Save My Demons I'm going to be a part of, and Piece of Meat as well.
Great. So what is your background in performance then? I'm guessing for your one-woman show you actually wrote it yourself.
Yeah, it's more devised than written, I'd say. My experience of performance stems from being a child. School plays, I always loved them. I was telling my friends the other day, I have a really embarrassing story. You know, when you're in primary school and, well, in my primary school, the different key stages would perform different shows at Christmas.
Yeah.
And the older key stage, like the year 5s and 6s, they'd get like a really good show like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory or Jack and the Beanstalk. And then the younger key stage would do something a lot smaller. And when I was in Key Stage 1, I used to go up to the kids that were playing the leads in the Key Stage 2 show and get their autographs. So I was always like really obsessed with the performances. I really wanted to be an actor, and I was really in awe of these people who now have no connection to the acting industry whatsoever. It was just a school play to them. So yeah, I grew up and carried on performing. Did my first BTEC level 2 at GCSE level at Kirkbox School in Barnsley. Then I went on to do my BTEC level 3 at Barnsley College, and now got my degree from Hallam.
Fantastic. So alongside your studying of performance, have you actually been making work or writing as you've gone along? Or?
Yeah, I'm doing quite a lot of stuff outside uni. I've got a show coming up Friday and Saturday this week. So when this goes out, it will be that day, called Party After the End of the World. That's at Theatre Delhi with Forest Sounds Theatre Company. I've also got a show coming up towards the end of May called Game Night. That's with Mage Place Theatre at the Merlion Theatre. I've just, in March, done Motherlogs at Delhi with Lauren Reid. That's sort of another verbatim piece that's going around all different cities. I've done a show called Dead at the Arundelgate venue where some of the early fest shows are taking place now. I've just finished my final show for uni, can't forget that one. That was only last week. That was really exciting.
Was that just a university audience?
No, it was open to the public as well, yeah. It was really nice. We got quite a few people in from names we didn't recognise, which was nice. People that just wanted to come and see the show.
How would people find out about shows like that if they're interested?
Facebook, I guess, is the main, yeah. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, those kind of
things like that. So what are your personal ambitions for the future?
I just want to be a performer, and I know everybody says it and I know how difficult it is, but it's just what I want to do. So I'm planning to just audition, keep getting roles, whether it's making my own work or performing in somebody else's shows. That's just all I want to do, really.
Do you have a preference? Do you prefer to write your own stuff?
To be honest, I prefer to perform for other people's work, because I find that when I'm making my own work, you know, when you just get ideas and you're like, I'll have that one, ooh, and that one, and that one. Oh, and this one's pretty good. And I find it really hard to pick which ones are the best and just decide and hone in on one. And I just want to do everything. And from my experience directing, it's not for me. Definitely.
So your enjoyment's in the actual performance itself. And what's the future for Early Fest? Will it be happening again?
We'll have to see how this year goes so far. I'd love to do it again, and I think if I was to do it again, it'd come back bigger and better, because, as I said, it's such a tight time scale that a lot of people contacted saying they wanted to perform, but they just couldn't in that amount of time, and maybe next year, and they'd love to do it next year. So I think if I was to do it again, it'd be on a bigger scale, maybe longer than 4 days, definitely more than 10 shows.
Yeah, you probably have lots more help as well from people who've been this year and enjoyed it. What are the details of Early Fest again? The times, tickets, prices?
So we are running from Sunday the 6th till Wednesday the 9th of May, so that's 4 days. 10 shows across those days. The first 2 days, so the Sunday and the Monday, are taking place at the Cellar at Dina, and we have 3 shows on each day. So we're kicking off with a show called Branches at 1 p.m, and then at 2 p.m. we have Bummer and Lazarus from Big Egg Theatre. 3 p.m. we have Fallen Rockstar, which is the show that's incorporated in the open mic, and then that's finishing us off for that day. The second day opens with Twitch at 1 p.m, then going into Piece of Meat at 2 and Justified at 3 p.m, and that's the second day. And then on the third day we're moving into the Arundelgate space, and we're kicking off at 6:30, so now the evening shows, and that's going to be with Pray They Save My Demons. And then at 7:30 we've got a kind of whodunit murder mystery called Suspects, And then that finishes the third day. And the final day opens at 7 p.m. with a live adventure with Wine Mum, which unfortunately is now sold out, so we can't get any more tickets for that one. And that is then followed by the big finale, which is a show called Between Us, and that's going to be an improv piece. So we get all the audience in for that. They'll get their suggestions up on stage. The premise of the show is essentially that it starts off with a couple, and then what happens after that is totally up to the audience.
That sounds really interesting.
Yeah.
And how much are the tickets, and where do people get them from?
They vary. They're available on Eventbrite, and you can get all those links through the Facebook event pages, which are constantly being shared on the Early Fest page. They vary from £3 concession up to £9 for the different shows.
So you've actually got your own webpage, Early Fest, if people
On
search.
the Facebook page, yeah.
That's great, thank you for talking to us, and I
Brilliant,
look forward
it's
to
been
coming
lovely.
and seeing some of the shows.
Brilliant, it's been lovely talking to you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming and speaking to us.